Welcome back to Closer Look on this October 31st, Halloween.
Yes, happy Halloween.
And nice to have you back from assignment. Nice that you came back just in time for the weekend.
I wasn't sure if I was
Nobody noticed?
I wasn't sure if I was going to come back dressed up. I wasn't thinking of dressing up, but
You should have. So funny story. Some of the younger kids in the office dressing up today.
yeah, there's lots. Yeah,
Lots. One fella in accounting dressed up as yours truly.
he did.
He did.
What did he have, a mask?
He had a mask. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, he came in late.
We should have brought him on the show to show everybody.
I said, to him,
Are you him?
I said, Brad,
Are you him?
I said, Brad, you can do the show. Frisco is a pain in the ass.
Perfect. You did great without me. I think I'd like someone to write in and say whether they like the show better with just you or both of us. Because if the vote is for just you,
no,
I'm happy to lay down and let you take all the glory.
Look, we're in this thing together, whether we want to be or not. Okay. I don't know about your heart rate, but I know about your heart rate.
What heart?
See, I'll lobby those softballs all day long. Big game tonight.
Yes, I have to say I've loved this World Series. As a baseball fan, I watch the World Series every year, and they've been duds for a couple of years. It was a sweep last year, I think, right? The Dodgers swept the Yankees. Yeah. Yankees were terrible. I was just telling Derek before we jumped on, this has been an amazing World Series.
How's your ass from the bandwagon? You all right?
I have not got on the bandwagon. I've had some texts where people ask me, so are you finally on the bandwagon?
Yeah,
never in a million years would I get on this bandwagon. I hope the Dodgers win the next 2 games and it's over.
You're a terrible human being.
I know. I'm just trying to get people to write in. Anything I say that's some controversy, they'll write it. But it has been a great World Series. The Jays do look like champs. They have the last 2 games, especially the pitching, and then those late inning runs that they pile on to like the other team thinks they're in it, and then they give them a few knockout blows, score 3 runs, and then it's 6-1. I think both the last 2 games were both 6-1.
And when they're down 2 or 3, you don't worry.
No, you don't, and you always know that you feel like they're going to come back. I feel like they never strike out. That team just doesn't strike out. No. They make contact. They're getting on base or they're making contact, which I'd much prefer. Rather ground out than strike out.
Yes.
So they have that going for them. And Vladdy, I'll be honest, I didn't watch a lot of Vladdy. I obviously know who he is. I know he's a great player. Yeah. But to watch him day in and day out, the guy's a star. He's no fear.
Trey Savage, who set I don't know how many records the other night when he pitched. Do you know how much that kid's making?
How much?
$57,000 a year.
How is that possible?
Because they're paying him based on his minor league deal.
So that's a minor league deal?
$57,000.
But wasn't he like a first-round draft pick or second-round draft pick? Is there a signing bonus? He must have got a signing bonus.
Well, that's his salary.
Yeah. I wonder, does he have any endorsement deals yet? He must, eh?
I don't know if he does, but I know he will. Compared to Vladdy, who I think is $23.8 million this year. So $23.8 million to $57,000.
Well, if you do that with the whole roster, you just look at the Jays roster compared to the Dodgers, not even close.
Oh, God. No.
But in Savage, didn't he break his record? He broke the other night was most strikeouts by a rookie in the World Series.
Yes, and he actually struck out every single player
at least once
in the lineup.
Yeah, it's very, very impressive.
Wild.
I think we're in for a while. I think it's going to be a great week. I don't think the Jays are going to win it tonight. I think it's going to go to a Game 7. It's just been that great of a World Series. It'd be great. And that they have Yamamoto on the mound, and he's a fantastic player. He was amazing his last game too, right? Great thing for the city of Toronto. Great thing for baseball. I hope it puts to rest anybody who thinks baseball is boring and gives you that line, oh, baseball's so boring.
No.
Your heart rate is going every pitch on this series. It's been amazing. There's been so many great plays. Guys getting thrown out of home plate, great defensive plays, like great pitching, like we said, timely homers. It's been a great World Series.
And I love the fact that Major League Baseball made the decision to allow Sportsnet to broadcast in Canada.
I was going to ask you about that. But is that because they broadcast every World Series on their own?
No, you would pick up the feed from Fox.
So how come? Did they have to allow them to do that?
They had to allow them to do that. That's my understanding.
So, I wonder, like, what point did they ask permission? Like mid-season, or did they ask them in the playoffs? Because I know, Sportsnet has the rights to the World Series in Canada, so they pick up the feed.
Right.
But I think because they have the rights, they're able, if they want, to put their own guys in there. Because they have the rights to broadcast it, whether they want to take the ESPN feed or whatever, Fox feed.
Yeah.
Or whether, I don't know.
Good question for our 2 guests today.
And have you tuned in at all to the American? I haven't watched.
Look, I'm a Dan and Buck fan, and I just like the way they tell the story. So
yeah, they're good. Well, we're going to talk some more baseball tonight. We're going to do a little in-house work tonight. Matt Betts from the Canadian Baseball Network podcast. He's a reporter at CambridgeToday. We've had him on multiple times to talk baseball. He knows his stuff. We're also going to introduce Daniel Ramos. He's a reporter at TorontoToday. Has covered some sports along the way, and he's actually in the city and soaking up all the buzz.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a little roundtable, talk to Jays. Why not? It's Friday afternoon.
Let's do it. Joining us tonight on Closer Look from Cambridge Today and the host of the Canadian Network Baseball podcast, Matt Betts, and from Toronto Today, Daniel Ramos. Guys, thanks for your time tonight. It's exciting. Good to see you both.
Thank you.
It's an exciting time for sure.
All right, Matt, I got a bone to pick with you because the last time you were on this program, you said Yankees in 5.
It's okay. It gets worse because after that, I said Seattle in 7. I had Dodgers in 5. So I don't know why I'm back. I don't know why I'm back on here.
So basically, what you're saying is it's LA in 7 you're picking, so that it goes the other way.
You will not get a prediction out of me tonight.
No, we won't do that. We won't do that. Well, we're hours away from first pitch of Game 6. It basically is, besides all the terrible things happening in the world today and in the country and concerns over the economy, it's all Blue Jays. It's the top of every news site. It's what everyone's around the country is talking about. Let's start with the buzz. Matt, you were at Game 1 of the World Series, right? Tell us what that was like. What the feeling is down there. We've all been to Jays games, but it's a whole other level.
Yeah, I went down. I got the opportunity to go with my brother, and we were walking around the concourse and kind of going down on the seats and just looking around. And it didn't even feel like a Blue Jays game. It felt like something completely different. You look down on the field, the media was crazy. You kind of see it on TV, but all foul territory is covered in media. You got Fox there, you got all MLB Network. Just the buzz. You could tell people were super excited and that something special was going on for sure.
Mm-hmm. Daniel, you cover the city for Toronto Today. What's just the feeling been like in the city? Does it just feel a whole lot different these days?
Oh, absolutely. You can feel the energy. You're walking in the streets and you can't go 10 seconds without seeing someone wear Jays gear. It's just, you really feel like people are giving each other high fives. Like I saw someone with Jays shoes the other day. I don't even know how they got that.
That's awesome.
But yeah, the energy is absolutely there.
Matt, I want to go to you for a sec if I can, and back to Game 5 and the performance of 122-year-old Trey Savage. Describe the magnitude of what he accomplished for a mere $57,000 salary.
Yeah, it's funny. They showed when he was facing Ohtani, the amount of money they were making per second. Yeah. It didn't quite compare, but yeah, what we saw from Savage, that was truly something special. 22 years old, but the most impressive thing was he didn't look any bit of 22. I mean, you saw guys like Gosman and Scherzer watching him in the dugout, and the poise that guy has is unbelievable. And it was funny after the game, he said, someone asked him if he'd be ready for Game 7, and he said, mentally, I'll be ready for Game 6. So that kind of gives you a look into what that guy's made of.
It is fascinating to watch, and you could chime in on this too, Daniel, but the kid, what is he, 21?
22.
22. And even just the way he speaks at the press conferences, he just sounds like a 43-year-old
very mature
veteran pitcher. I mean, what do you see when you listen to him and you watch him, Daniel?
Well, he's just so poised and so calm the whole time. I can't recall, maybe you guys remind me what game it was, where a batter called for a timeout and he just stood there the whole time with his glove. He didn't move.
Yes.
And I feel like that just perfectly represents how he's been since they called him up. He's just ready. He's ready for the moment. And he said that himself. He's built for it.
Yeah, I think it was Game 5 or when he came out in the 7th inning. He pitched 7 full innings, right? Yep. And everyone's waiting from the dugout, big embraces. Vlad Guerrero's at the end of the line, giving him a big bear hug. Is there something about this team? I mean, we were on the outside looking in, but it just feels like they couldn't be any closer of a tight knit bunch. Is that fair to say, Matt?
Yeah, and I've been around this team a little bit throughout the year, spring training, a few games during the year, and yeah, it's just a very likable team. There's not very many guys on this team that you look and be like, that guy's kind of an idiot, or like I don't really like that guy. You look at Nico Mann, Addison Barger, David Schneider. I mean, it's hard not to root for these guys, and they really have each other's back. You heard about Barger sleeping on Schneider's couch earlier in the season. Don't hear that kind of stuff all the time. I don't think Shohei Ohtani's sleeping on Mookie Betts' couch, right? So there is something about this. There's an aura around this team that is just something different.
And they're almost like a group of misfits. I mean, outside of Vladdy, there really isn't that big named superstar. And if you go through the lineup 1 through 9, I could probably count 3 or 4 guys that would have a legitimate chance of being named MVP of the World Series if they win. You guys agree with that?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it would most likely go to Vladdy, but I could definitely see it. I mean, with the effort that everyone's put, it's just it's next man up. That's the whole thing, right? It's top of the order to the bottom of the order, no matter what it is. They're going to tire out the pitcher. They're going to make him work hard. And yeah, it absolutely is just a full swing momentum of the entire team. And it's really admirable. As Matt said, you just want to root for them.
Well, three guys kind of jump out to me, and obviously Vladdy, as Daniel said, is probably the front runner. But Ernie Clement has had an unbelievable World Series, and what Chris Bassett is doing is unbelievable. Started his entire career. I don't think he's pitched back-to-back days since 2012 in the minor leagues, and then he was begging to go 3 games apparently, in Game 5 there. So what he's doing is unbelievable. I'm not saying he's going to win the World Series MVP if they win, but he's been an instrumental part of this, and just kind of that selflessness. Sometimes there's an idea that some of these veteran guys can be kind of bitter when they get taken out of the regular spots, but it really seems like all these guys, it's all about winning no matter what it takes.
No, it does feel that way for sure. We've talked last time you were on, Matt, too, just about how, the Jays have always been Canada's team. Sportsnet has a huge viewership all across the country, fans all the way to Nunavut. They all watch the Jays on Sportsnet. And obviously, this has only ramped it up with this World Series run. A whole other group of new fans are joining as well. What do you think the ripple effect is going to be for baseball itself in this country? Has it kind of brought baseball back to the forefront? Are you going to see more kids registering this spring?
Yeah, I think so. I think we saw that in 2015 with the Jose Bautista and Josh Donaldson and Encarnacion era, and I think you're going to see it again. I know we were talking before we jumped on here. 1993 was 32 years ago, then 2015, and now 2020. It's kind of like almost 3 generations of baseball fans, and now there's young players that didn't watch that 2015 team or were very young when that happened. I was very young in 1992 and 93. So yeah, I think you're definitely going to see that, and definitely from the grassroots level up. That's what, and the Jays are hoping for that. They've been very involved in the community, and they're about to grow in the game in this country.
For sure. Daniel, let me ask you this. Everyone's been talking about the Jays. There's this now pretty good group of historic home runs. First, Carter's at the top, of course. Batista's bat flip, and then you get Springer's Game 7 homer. Which was bigger for the franchise, Batista's homer or Springer's homer?
I have been sitting on this since George Springer did it. So for me personally, I wasn't alive for 93, so I didn't witness that home run. But I was at Nathan Phillips Square for Jose Bautista's bat flip. I was at one of the watch parties for that. And I've watched Raptors my whole life as well. And, everyone knows Kawhi's big Game 7 shot. I still rank Jose Bautista's bat flip above the Kawhi shot. And looking in a vacuum at the George Springer one, it's like, okay, that sent them to the World Series. So it's like, maybe that's got to be the one. But from the perspective of someone who grew up watching the Jays and witnessed that moment, I still don't know if I can put George Springer's home run above Jose Bautista's bat flip. There was just something about that moment that it's just like you felt the whole city shake. Like Nathan Phillips Squares, they have these concrete like floors. You felt them shaking when that happened. It was just
we should mention that we're taping Friday afternoon, probably about 4 or 5 hours prior to game time. Speaking of Springer, do we know at this point what his status is for tonight? Anybody heard?
He's supposed to play.
It sounds like he's going to play.
Oh yeah, in the lineup, not available off the bench.
Yeah, so John Schneider said yesterday during his media availability that he was on the fence essentially for Game 5. He probably could have played, but he was kind of balancing what's best for him and the team. And it sounds like he might be in the lineup tonight. So
all right,
I think it would take a lot to not have him in the lineup today.
Yeah, he's been such a difference maker for this team all year.
Yeah.
Let's talk stadiums, because what's really struck me, I'm a huge baseball fan. I'm not a Jays fan. We know that already. But I'm a huge baseball fan. I watch the World Series beginning to end every year. And this has been a special World Series. Been better than the last few for sure. There was, the Yankees got swept last year. It was a terrible World Series. But I just see the stark difference between the two stadiums, right? I know that Dodger Stadium is a very historic place. A lot of great things Vin Scully's called over the years at that ballpark. But when you see the overhead view of it and you see it's just all parking lot around and the difficulty fans have to get to it, the old Sky Dome with now Rogers Center looks like the better park all of a sudden. Like beautiful, right in the middle of the downtown core, people walking around, the vibe. Speak to that, Matt. What do you think?
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people. And actually on last Friday, Game 1 was the first time I kind of walked around some of the districts. Just took some time because we were there like 3 hours before the game. But it's super nice. The food, everything from the food offerings to the spaces to watch the game to stuff for kids. It really is an all-inclusive atmosphere. And when you get something like the World Series in town and you pack that place, they're really and the dome's closed. Obviously, it's nicer, I think, when the dome's open. When that dome's closed, it gets loud in there. So I do love Dodger Stadium too, but there's definitely a bit of a difference in external atmosphere, I guess you could say.
For sure. I always think of Kirk Gibson hobbling to the plate at Dodger Stadium. That's my big memory. Daniel, you mentioned the Raptors, and we all remember the massive party after they won their championship. Do you think the Jays' victory would be even bigger, considering the national love for the Blue Jays?
I honestly, I think it could be, definitely. With the Raptors, it was huge because it was their first one, right? So you've kind of felt the whole country get behind them as well. But this has been 32 years. The Jays already have a massive fan base to begin with. I could definitely see the parade being just as big, if not bigger. And in 2019, there were millions of people that showed up for the Raptors. So I could definitely see it be bigger, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Has anyone asked Kawhi Leonard what he thinks? Has he been around? It's Kawhi paying
I
attention
don't
to what
think he wants to be in the public right now.
No, is he still playing for the Clippers, or what's going on with Kawhi?
He is. He's playing for the Clippers, yeah.
You think someone would have asked him?
Well, when he's not under load management.
Load management. That's why I haven't been here in 3 days.
Yeah.
We're
going to write that into our new deals.
Load management.
We get load management. We're only going to be off three nights a week.
Yeah. Back to you, Matt. When you guys look back and you think of this World Series, what'll be the thing that you remember the most, that memory that sticks out, that play that sticks out for you?
The Barger Grand Slam for sure was a big one. The Varsho home run to tie it in game one was a big one. That 18-inning game's hard doing that, hard to top, even though they lost. The fact that they came back and won the 2 games after that 18-inning up there. I think one thing that really sticks out for me is, again, I said I was really young in 1992 and 1993, and they make the videos, they make, there's documentaries, there's books. But for me, I look back and it's almost like that's a story and it's not really real. When I was at the game in game one, I was looking around like, we're living this history now. And if they can find a way to pull this out, we're going to be the ones that are going to be looking back in 20 years and be like, we were there. So it's got just a special feeling around the city. And if they can get it done, you'll never buy another drink in the city.
Matt, I know you've gone on record as saying you won't make a prediction for tonight, and we thank you for that. But I will ask you this. Do they need to win tonight? Nobody wants to go to a Game 7 because it's a coin toss. Do you feel, though, as though they need to win tonight to get this done?
I think one of my biggest pet peeves in sports is when people say a must-win game if you're not facing elimination. So I'm going to say no. I think it's going to be tough tonight. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he might go 150 pitches if Dave Roberts thinks that's what
Daniel, to you, your thoughts?
Yamamoto is so impressive. He threw 2 complete games before this. I don't know if he can do a third, but he will be really difficult to beat. So I could see it going to 7. I'm afraid to make predictions as well. But I do think it could go 7. Definitely.
Awesome. Is there anything else we didn't ask you guys that we think we should be talking? We could talk Jays all day, I think. Anything else that's on top of the mind about this?
No, just look forward to the atmosphere tonight. I mean, you can feel it through the TV even. That's when you know it's a good atmosphere, when you can feel it. It feels like your TV's shaking.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, there's Daniel Ramos from Toronto Today and Matt Betts from CambridgeToday. Guys, enjoy the game. Happy weekend.
Thank you for having us. You enjoy the game as well.
All right, we got to pack up and get set for this big game. Are you going to predict anything?
No, because then I'll predict. I've been wrong every time too.
All right, then I won't put you on the spot.
I think it's because it's like a rivalry from my childhood, the Jays and the Tigers. I the Jays I can't get into it, and it's funny because my phone has been lighting up a little bit. People talking trash and whatever. Since someone asked me today, an old colleague said, like, you must be a little bit on the bandwagon for the Jays. I just can't get on it. I can pretty much.
And I can vouch. It's true.
Yeah, I could probably get on any other bandwagon, but I just can't. I'm on the Freddie Freeman bandwagon. Let's go, Freddie.
You know what? He seems like a great human.
He is a good human.
Wonderful story how he saved his father's life.
Yeah, that's right.
Check that out online if you're not familiar with it. It's a wonderful story.
And shortly after his mother passed away, right? She died when he was 10, and he talks a lot about the love for his mother. And I believe he wears something either on his arm every game. It's like a band he wears.
Yeah.
Like she grew up in Toronto, like the city.
That's right.
He has a very sentimental attachment to the city of Toronto, and coming back here was very emotional. I'm sure he'd love nothing more than to win a World Series in Toronto.
Would he ever?
But, we didn't ask Matt how much he paid for his Game 1 ticket. We should have asked him that. But the tickets today, you see the thousands and thousands of dollars.
Can't imagine.
But you know what? For people, it's funny because I've seen people acquaintances of mine on social media being at the game. And one took his son, who's is an adult now. And I thought, well, you know what? That's kind of... It's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to go and spend it. I think of that great scene. There was a great photo. I think it was in the New York Times when the Cubs won the World Series finally. And there was a photo of a guy at his father's grave with the radio on, and it was dark because it was night game. and he was listening to the game 7 with his dad at the
God.
graveyard. And I think there's just something about baseball and family, and
Field of
that's
dreams.
really what it's all about, right? It's about the fact that you enjoy this game with the people you care about. And there's many, many Jays fans out there rooting for the Jays this weekend. So whatever happens, it's going to be a damn exciting weekend of baseball.
And you know what? With all the shit that's going on in the world,
I know.
We need something to hang on to. And
I know.
You know, for a couple of weeks we've had this, which has been cool.
And it's still, this is the crazy thing, but it's still something that we know is real. You feel real, right? Like you can't AI baseball. You can't fake it. You can use AI to maybe analyze the stats 50,000 different ways, but only Trey Savage can pitch like Trey Savage.
Yep.
And only Vlad Guerrero can hit the ball like Vlad Guerrero. Like you can't fake baseball.
You cannot.
You cannot AI baseball. And there's just something so real about that pitcher versus batter situation. It's the greatest thing in sport in my mind.
And only Derek Turner can produce like Derek Turner. Your prediction, sir, for tonight?
Go Jays.
Let's go Jays. I couldn't have said it better myself, and I will go on record as saying it gets done tonight.
I think it gets done tonight?
I do.
All right, get the clip ready, Derek, for Monday.
All right, let's put a bow on this and head out. Village Media is where you'll find us, the Village Media Network, YouTube, Closer Look, podcast.ca. Send us a note. What do you think? Closer Look at villagemedia.ca. It's been a week. We appreciate your time tonight. And as always, for Derek, Michael Friscolanti, our editor-in-chief, I'm Scott Sexsmith. Have a wonderful weekend. And if you're out trick-or-treating tonight, do it safely. Enjoy. See you Monday.
Frisco and Scott's Wardrobe provided in part by Moores, Sault Ste. Marie.